First opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Detroit Lions. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Patrick Mahomes now in his 3rd season in the league, leading the Chiefs onto the field. And, boy, with the Chiefs traded starting quarterback Alex Smith before 2018, a lot of people were wondering how good Patrick Mahomes could be, and he showed the entire league how good he could be, racking up over 5,000 yards and tied for 2nd most passing touchdowns in a season with 50 of them. And he was handed the MVP and Offensive Player of the Year awards. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. Spinning away. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off. He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he could break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Butker, what a pickup he's been for Kansas City the last 2 years. Remember, he was drafted by Carolina to be the eventual successor to Graham Gano. That didn't pan out. Casey got him as a free agent. He's been really good.
Yeah, Gano said, oh no, I'm keeping my job. But Butker found his home in Kansas City, a franchise record for points scored in his first 2 seasons.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Amendola, the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now Anderson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
They go play action here on 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Brandon, unless my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, it's the 2nd time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, they like him as a featured receiver. Let's see what kind of adjustments the defense is going to make to try and take that away.
Following the penalty, Anderson. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here, as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. We'll check on his status when we get back. Now the 5th-year man from South Dakota State. This is Zach Zenner. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. They had 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there. Zinner. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A rough go there on third down, a loss of 4. Okay, so you just took the big loss. Now what are you doing on fourth down?
Well, we have a change of plans now is what we have, because I think they were looking at the play sheet, trying to dial something up to go for it on fourth down. But after that loss, that goes right out the window. Now you have to kick the field goal and hope to come back down the next time and score.
So matching field goals on our opening 2 drives.
Yeah, it feels like 2 boxers feeling each other out here in the early going of the game, right? Exchanging some jabs, but none of the heavy stuff just yet.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 22. They run high. The numbers on the ground for Hyde last week. 19 carries, 66 yards, and a touchdown.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on it. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately.
Now here's Mahomes. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
A reminder coming up tonight, a tough ticket in New Orleans. The Cowboys in town to take on the Saints on Sunday Night Football. Then tomorrow night, Charles and I, we go to Pittsburgh. Bengals and Steelers, 2 teams, well, they don't like each other very much. That's well documented. That starts at 8:15 Eastern as we close out the month of September.
Offside, defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the up.
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
From the 44, Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 12 yards there and a 1st down. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Tyrann Mathieu, normally known for the pass coverage, this time a sack. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. The big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more. These guys had to settle for a field goal their last time moving the ball down the field. They may have to do it again on this drive. That could be frustrating.
Yeah, I don't want to be cliche, but at least they were able to get 3 last time. 3 here, not the worst thing in the world. So the field goal there caps what up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Let's go!
And now here comes Kansas City. And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively.
But maybe they should. Maybe they should sit on it here because of what you just said. They haven't made anything happen offensively. Getting ready to go into the half, give them a chance to take a deep breath, exhale a little bit, and start over. I don't know if this is the time to push it myself.
Yeah, right now under 100 yards of total offense. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. First down, a run with Hyde. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Caught, Kelsey, left side. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there. Mahomes will bring him up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. And Butker able to put this one through. And that will do it for this first half. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. All even through one half of football as we get back underway in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Back to throw. Stafford. Throw left side complete. It's James. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Anthony Hitchens, 2nd in the AFC in tackles last year, there to bring him down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. I think you'd agree that looked like the right call from up here.
No doubt about it. What everyone has to understand is that they are going to be right on the play each and every time. You may not like the call, but they're usually spot on.
Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Marvin Jones, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions are in for 6. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Now a run with High. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Mike Daniels makes the tackle. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play, because that's been an issue for them in this game. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Now they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
The tackle there by Quandre Diggs. A 10th carry for Hyde. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Back now at Ford Field. It's the Chiefs with a football but with work to do on the scoreboard. They trail as we start quarter number 4. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 yards there, first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They'll run it. Here's Hyde. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1. Now Hyde. So the decision to go for it turns out to be a good one. They get a couple of yards, and as a result, the drive keeps moving. It's now 1st and goal. Sold out there at the end with a dive to pick up the first.
Were you as surprised as I am that they actually ran the ball there?
Yeah, I thought they might throw it.
Me too, but instead, they went old-fashioned, ran the football, and he made that call correct with that dive at the end.
On 2nd and goal, Mahomes. This will be caught at about the 6.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play. Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats. Throwing the ball.
And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Carlos Hyde with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. All square now at 13 all as he sends this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. It'll be Zinner to start the drive. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. All tied up, less than 2 minutes to go. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. Stafford. James has got it, complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. Now it's Stafford. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Looking to throw again on second down. Stafford, and he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Stafford going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. A second down run for Zinner. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down. Give him 6 yards in the first down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
On the handoff, it's Zinner. And a short gain here, down to the 22. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
44 to Mike, 44 to Mike. Check.
They'll hand it to Zinner. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. The Lions on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. On third down, it's Zinner. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. He's able to chew up 8 yards on the carry there, but still 4th down upcoming. And it is good. splits the uprights on the chip shot. But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards. They just declined them.